Well, I feel like, you know, society and just media in general sort of idealizes women and paints this specific perfection that we're supposed to be. And I think that us, like, when you look at us, you see, like, we have short people, we have tall people, we have skinny people, we have curvy people, we have totally different skin tones and ethnicities, you know? We kind of represent, like, that minority of girls, or majority of girls, either way, that, you know, don't have that person to look up to, or, like, look in a magazine and see the size 2 model that they know they'll never look like that, you know what I mean? So we try to, like, represent, you know, ourselves as embracing ourselves as we are and trying to be that for those girls who don't have that representation in the media. Kind of fear is what separates us in the beginning, you know what I mean? Like, us being afraid to talk about things, us being uncomfortable talking about things that matter. Like,
that make you a little uncomfortable.
That make it is uncomfortable to talk about it, because at the end of the day, some people are comfortable with some really crazy, you know, like, not crazy even, like, that's kind of an insult sometimes, like, literally, but just, like, there's some really skewed perspectives out there right now that really need to be checked. And the only way we can really check them is by talking about them. Because if we just kind of, like, keep sweeping it under the rug, like, oh, that's just, you know, let's just be on a good vibe right now. Like, I don't want to, it's never, ever a good time to talk about it, you know? So
And you can't be upset because you didn't bring up the conversation.
I mean, I don't know if anyone should do anything that's not authentic to them, but I really feel like if you love women and you want to sing about love, like, don't feel the need to say he, you know what I mean? Don't feel the need to sort of, like, adapt to, like, the society or the culture, you know what I mean? I feel like that's happened so much to artists over the years, and just people being so scared to, like, own it. So I think that's why it's really cool. I feel really blessed to be part of something like this, because it, like, people like, you know, the internet, like Sid and the internet, she only sings about women because she loves women, you know, and I think that's so inspiring and so cool. Haley Kyoko does the same thing.
Young M.A.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, all these, I feel like it's a cool time in culture right now, and even like Troye Sivan singing about men, like, it's about who you love and really authentically connecting as an artist and giving that through. Definitely, like, overcoming like, insecurity. I think I personally had a lot of growth with that this year.
Oh my gosh, me too.
More than ever in my life. I just have a really good support system around me, and, like, I'm very sure of myself and my purpose and, like, what I can offer the world. And when you do that, like, when you separate your purpose from, like, oh, what is everyone else doing, and how can I be like that, or you know what I mean? Like, when you separate yourself from that and you're like, I'm the shit. I'm the shit. Yeah. I'm cool. Like, let me just be me. Let me just, like, elevate me.
Because you're always all in your head.
That's what I'm saying. And this industry does that to you. Essentially, we've been fighting for kind of the same thing since this country began, which is equality, which is an acceptance of human value and human life. And that's an essential rule of law that was given to us by the universe, is that we should respect each other and we should honor each other's right to live. And today we all marched together in contrast to the assault rifles and to the guns and to the metal machinery and the people who support those machines over their children. We rally against them, and we rally against the notion that peace can only be achieved through more violence. It's not true, and it's just, yeah, that's why we're all here.
Feminism is definitely important just as a concept because, well, it's by definition the political and economic and social equality of the sexes. So just that's really what it is, and that we promote that 100%, you know, women being powerful and being strong and being able to be successful in whatever sort of division that they want to be successful. And also a huge part of it, I think, is the coming together of women and supporting each other and not breaking each other down, and kind of sending out that message and making sure that women know that doing this together is gonna be so much more efficient than trying to tear each other down.
Yep, absolutely.
Amen.
Yes, you embody this.
matter how much you try, no matter how many interviews you do, no matter how many pictures you post of yourself and how amazing your life is potentially, like no one ever sees those vulnerable moments. Nobody sees the things that make you human. So at the end of the day, if those people can completely disregard their humanity and let you know all the stuff they think about you when they don't really know you, you can just as easily disregard their opinion and remind yourself it's not personal because they don't know me.
Okay.
Didn't really write it with the intention of like, oh, I'm coming out. It definitely, I felt, was a part of me that I had obviously learned to embrace, because it's not something that's easy. It's nobody else's business. It's nothing to do with anyone but the two people involved, or three people, whatever it is that you do. I think the main advice would be to find out what it means to love yourself. I think that that's the first thing you have to do if you're wanting to enter into this world, because that was something that I personally, and I think I speak for all of us when I say this, I learned going into this that there was a lot of like self-love involved in the process still, and that we still hadn't found ourselves completely, which was totally acceptable because we were very young. But if you want to get involved in this industry at such a young age, it's really important to have a grip of who you are and to know who you are, know what you want, and not be afraid to use your voice and to do what inspires you, you know what I mean? And not allow anyone else to tell you what it is that is supposed to inspire you, but for you to stand your ground and just, you know, figure out what that is for yourself. And I think also self-love and team building. Like learn to work with others and learn to keep that in your head when you're moving forward in life, because your relationships with everyone around you is really going to be important, especially in this industry. So just be strong, be classy, and be respectful always. I think also it's sort of like inspiring each other and like kind of like helping sort of pick the other up, like when they're, because I feel like society kind of makes us all feel a bit less than what our potential is always, like we're not particularly pretty enough or smart enough or whatever, but it's sort of like finding that in your friends and uplifting them and always like helping them feel as great as they actually
sister.
are.
Amen. Preach. Hashtag.
Oh, wait.
Bam! That's a good one. That was a good one. I think if I were to give any advice to my younger self, it'd probably be to just own it, you know, like don't think so much about what other people are going to say or what they're going to, you know, feel via what you do. Just be more about like what it is that you want to do and don't listen to everyone else's opinion so much.
Oh,
I'm scared of heights as well. Like they really, really genuinely scare me. When I look down, I just feel a really intense disgust inside of me. But I do it anyway. I do it anyway because I don't like being scared of those sort of things.
That's
Because there's
great.
so many things to experience from up above. But yeah, and then I also I regret really scares me. Like having things happen in my life that I'm like, damn, I wish I could undo that or redo that. Like, I don't like that feeling.